friend Salvail here today, talking about Brugmansias. These are my Brugmansias trees that I have. Gabriel's Trumpet, that's another name for them. And I've actually got 3 of them, and I've had them for a few years, and they're looking pretty cool. I think, you know, they're getting bigger. The Brugmansias, they always flower better on horizontal growth, you know, on side branches or lateral branches. So that's what I always try to promote, and I just try to keep them best way I can over the winter, sometimes in the garage, sometimes in the living room, sometimes just in the basement. They often will lose all their leaves and they come out looking like this. They're starting to get some new shoots on some of these branches, so they're getting going, but they're pretty cool plants. One of my favorites. They're just super hungry. They need tons of food and tons of water, and that's the issue really that we deal with. But these ones are root bound. They've been in these pots for quite a few years, so I'm going to attempt to get them out and just have a look at what's going on here. So I have no idea what's going to happen here, so be prepared. Whenever you try to get big plants out of a big pot, you usually have to try to lift it up, and then you hit downwards on the side like that, and that's how you pop them out. And I can see here, I've got a tarp on the ground here, you know, so that it collects the debris. And just having a look, so we got lots of empty pots in here, which is how we just make up some extra room for soil, so we're not spending, you know, too much money on soil. We can help it. There's a nice big 2-gallon pot in there, so that was upside down on the bottom. Excellent idea. We're not going to use those on this next run, but what we're going to do is I just take a hammer like this, and I'm just going to rip some of this soil off so I can kind of figure out what's going on with the roots. I can see some nice new roots starting on here, so these things are definitely waking up, coming out of the dormancy period and getting ready to go. So we're just going to rip through these roots a bit and have a look at what we got. There's some more pots. So that's the way that goes. Trying to keep the roots going if I can. I don't want to totally destroy them. So I'm just using this hammer because it's convenient. My dad's old hammer when I was about 5 years old. I remember my dad using this hammer. He always had it as far as I can ever remember, actually. Now he's gone on to bigger and better things. And I love this hammer. I hope I never lose it. Anyway, it's a good old hammer. Works great. So this, all I'm doing is ripping through the soil, trying to get rid of the old soil. You know, the old soil is not too bad, but I'm trying to rejuvenate this plant. The one thing with Brugmansias is that if you can rejuvenate them, man, they're just phenomenal. They just grow like crazy. And if they're stunted because the soil's not good or the roots are not happy, then they're just never going to be what you need them to be. So that guy's basically ready to go. I'm just leaving these roots dangling there. So I just throw a little bit of soil. What I do is I'll use up my old recycled potting soil, a little bit of compost. You'll see there's like bits of leaves and stuff in here. It's just old potting soil. Put this in the bottom of the planters so that, again, I don't want to spend too much money on these guys. Like, I like them, but I don't like them that much. But I'm going to throw this in the bottom pots, generally about 4 to 6 inches deep, maybe a bit more, maybe a little more. I'll just use all this soil up between these 3 pots, 3 trees, 3 pots. Potting soil. There we go, just a little bit left. There we go. Alright, so that's that for that. You know, I might just even recycle a little bit of this soil. It's all fluffed up now. A little bit. Okay, so I'm ready to repot this one. I just gotta make sure I got it the right depth. I'm just gonna put it under this here. Just basically set her in there. That looks about right. Should be good. So I'll grab my potting soil out here. I always buy soil in these big bales because it's much more cost effective. And I usually kick them on the sides to break it up a bit. And then use a scoop, get in here and start filling her up. Once it's all to the one side, so fill that side in first. The soil is fairly dry, but it'll take on water pretty easy. So I tuck it in around the sides like this, kick it a bit, and that kicking of the pot, that settles the soil around the roots. A little bit more in there. Now if I feel like this could be too deep, I think this is a little bit too deep in this pot, so I want to raise it up a little. So I'll lift it, shake it, kick it. There we go. I brought it up about another inch or two. Now, I'm going to make sure it looks straight. Definitely looks crazy looking, that's for sure. Sure got a lot of branches on that one. That's going to be a nice plant though. There we go. It looks like it's all got the good soil going there. And that's it. So what I would do as well is I would take about maybe a coffee cup full of like a slow releasing fertilizer and just sprinkle it in there, mix it in a bit. Generally in the upper 6 inches of soil or so. I can also mix it in with the soil if I want when I put it in, but either of that, if it's in the upper layer, it's going to leach downwards into the root system, so that should be good. But it's kind of a funky looking plant, but it's going to be good. And we'll get 3 of these potted up, and you can tune in next time and see how they're looking, you know, and how they get going here over the next couple of weeks. So that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in.